Welcome, beautiful, to the Creating Change podcast with Emma Bradford. Creating change to fall back in love with ourselves and life. Each episode, I'll be offering insightful stories, concepts, and practical takeaways to inspire your day, reconnecting to the authentic essence within. Are you ready, lovely, to embrace yourself even more and awaken to the magic life has to offer? Let's dive into today's episode. Hello, welcome to Creating Change with Emma Bradford. Thank you for joining me today. It's wonderful to have you here for this episode, this rather special episode where I'm going to be sharing something that has been coming through recently in my work and something that I've been sharing by email. If you're on my newsletter list, you will know what I'm talking about. These are these little expansions, what I call expansions, these little messages that I've been connecting to through my own personal practice, and I've been sharing them by email, and now I thought I'd share a few little snippets here on the podcast also. So at the beginning of this year, I really felt I needed to go inwards and connect with myself and really start listening to my heart and my soul even more. I do pay attention to them, and I've made many transformations and changes and decisions based on that intuitive knowing previously. Though this year I felt I needed to increase that even more. I needed to up level. And so what I did is I took off time and I paused all trainings and events, and I really spent this time to go inwards. And there are many different ways that I went about this. And one of the ways was I started writing in my journal, and not necessarily from the emotional point of view, writing about what was happening and what I was feeling, which I have done in other journals and in other practices. Though for this particular one, I wanted to really connect to my heart. I really wanted to connect to my soul. I wanted to set that intention to connect with that all-loving essence that lies within, that each and every person has within them. Just set that intention, connect to that, and start writing and notice what came up. This was really interesting, noticing what words and phrases and messages were coming through. In the beginning, these messages just came through as a few simple words and one or two short sentences, and then eventually it came to a point where I was writing pages and pages and pages, and I felt like I couldn't stop. There was this energy, this energy coming through me that really wanted to say lots and lots of things. And when I paused and read what I'd written, a lot of it was really, really helpful for me, whatever I was going through personally. So it was like I was connecting to this all-loving essence within that was helping me to guide myself in whatever situations I was experiencing. And I thought these were super useful that I could share with all of you also, that you listening might find it useful too. And those of you on my email list get these messages every single month. I call them expansions, and I felt that this was something to be shared, not something to be kept, even though primarily it was my own practice and something for me to reconnect with myself at a deeper level. I felt that this was something that other people could benefit from too. And many times these messages, what I'd written, were using words or phrases that I don't usually use day to day. They were worded in a different way. And sometimes they were things that I knew, things that I already knew but had forgotten, and it was a good reminder. And other times it was completely new ideas and perspectives that had completely transformed my perspective on whatever situation I was finding challenging. And for this episode, I want to share one of those messages with you today. And I really feel that this is something that if every single person on this planet, if we tapped into this even just 1% more in our daily life, wow, what a change we could create on this planet. So it's all about coming back to the heart and really connecting to that softer side of ourselves. So I will read the message now, and if you're signed up to my email, you will have received this already. This can be a wonderful audio version of that. And if you haven't received that email, here is this wonderful message, this reminder, coming back to the heart. To soften is to sink into the moment and be present with it. Release tensions and witness what is. Be with what is. To soften is to reconnect to the deeper essence within. And with this softer awareness, the hard edges of life disappears. To soften and return to the heart is the ripple that will transform society, one smile at a time, one hug at a time, one loving presence at a time. Soften with yourself and you soften with others. Soften with others and you soften with yourself. You are loved and guided with every step. Soften and you will realize you are held and have always been held. Lean back, rest. Soften into the seat of life that you are trying so hard to hold up yourself. Allow yourself to be held by life. Life wants to guide you. Life wants to inspire you. Life wants to nurture you. Life wants to support you. Soften into the hands of life, the current of life, the river of life. You are being held. Trust. Soften. Soften. So for me, what that's talking about is all about coming back to this softer awareness, coming back to the heart, living life through the heart, speaking through the heart, and really making sure that all of our words, thoughts, and actions are aligned through the heart, bringing that to our daily life. We are essentially vessels of love if we choose to be. We can reaffirm each day and connect to that, recognizing that, dear love, let me be a vessel for your expression, your presence today. That can be a wonderful way to start the day and connect to this softer awareness and start bringing a little more tenderness to ourselves, to others, and to situations that we find ourselves in. Now, there are a few side notes here that I included in the email, just to be clear that to soften in life doesn't mean to relax so much that we just let everything go. Hey, I'm just going to flow and that's it, and not take any action in life and not move towards things and grow and evolve, that we're just drifting and floating. No, that's not what it's talking about here. To soften is to really bring in this loving awareness, this loving tenderness as we move about our life and we continue to take inspired action in life to grow and evolve and make the most of this human experience. To soften doesn't mean to give up boundaries either, and to be so loving that people walk over us or that we give everything to others and do things to please others. We can be loving and connected to others and live life through the heart, and we can have strong, healthy boundaries. To take care of ourselves is also to care for the collective. And finally, to soften doesn't mean to bypass challenges, that we only look at love and light. Oh, everything's fine. I'm just going to look at what's positive. No, I'm not talking about that. We can be right in the middle of things, in the thick of things, and things can be so challenging and difficult. And we can still soften into the experience of life even more, even just by 1%, simply by returning to the breath and bringing our awareness back to our heart space. It's not always easy, though it's simple. I'll say that again. It's not always easy, though it can be simple. Soften, soften. Come back to this loving awareness. Place your hand on your heart and just notice, what does life look like? What does life feel like? What's the life experience all about when you live life through this? When you come back to that point of reference, being a vessel for love, recognizing the love that flows through you, recognizing the love that resides within you, your core essence, that loving essence that is you. Now, if you're thinking, oh, this is all very well, lots of talk, but let's get practical. Sure, why not? Here's a practical tip. Just scan your body right now and just notice if there are any areas of tension. Do you hold any tension within your jaw or your hips or your shoulders? Notice if there's any tension and just breathe through that. Bring your awareness to that. Breathe through that, and through that act of breathing and your awareness, essentially what you're doing is you're helping that area to soften. You're softening through your tender, loving awareness and presence. I'll leave that there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and what you notice as you try this out. Do get in touch, info@emmabradford.net, or you can connect to me on social media or Telegram. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and wishing you so much love for the rest of your week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, beautiful. You're amazing. All resources and links can be found on my website, www.emmabradford.net. Link is in the show description. Do come and join my community and share your takeaways from this episode. I'd really love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I wonder, what magic will you experience in life today?